My name is Erica Lorraine Spencer, and I remain subject to state surveillance and terrorism by the state of California that is operating a malicious targeting system which is referred to as federal group stalking and monitoring via communication devices. And it is in violation of federal stalking statute 18 U.S.C. sections 2261A subsections 1 and 2. My website and podcast serve the public good by publishing evidence of the public entity's ceaseless engagement in a pattern of conduct intended to stalk and monitor via communication devices, surveil, harass, and terrorize an American citizen in concert with the people of the state of California. Documentation serves the lawful purposes of wide exposure, federal prosecution, and influencing federal legislation with policies specifically designed to punish, dismantle, and disincentivize an unprecedented targeting system by a public entity that acts in concert with the people of the state in order to criminally place under surveillance and terrorize an American citizen, which is a matter of public corruption in the state of California. See thepatternofconduct.wordpress.com. 8ZTU210, molesting with these third parties that are pacing around, and so is Tracy Banks. You can hear her opening. This is a demon, and she's molesting me, engaging in terrorism with these third parties that are crossing paths as she's opening up the car, and they're driving past the car, engaging in that molestation together. It is 8:28 a.m. Friday, July 15, 2022, P.O.C. 50669Y2, driving through Shara's Liquor parking lot as I'm getting out the car in order to cross path with directed light. All over the asphalt, these are demons, just group stalking with the one that's driving the car that I'm inside of, stalking and monitoring as an entity. 8NGK416, 7WTA 919, I believe. SADXDAD, 6DTV000. 8MTP308, A060WO, 7XWL738, 7XVY884, 8WKH901, 8EOF603, 8SQC919, CAMPOMT. License 6RCL274. 6GHA415, 8VND028, 5LPR438, 8PPX391, 8W, I can't see that when you scratch that, 9BGE599, 7MDF543. 76158R2, 8CIH375, Bank of the West is monitoring. License 8VFV722, 7MBX077, 7WGF866. 6GHA415 is at the Bank of the West at 8311. This is the address. The fake sun is over me at Bank of the West in Rancho Cucamonga. Not the B&G Plaza, not the Ovid Family Community Library, not the City of Ontario at a 200 Cherry Avenue, not the Ontario Fire Department. I'm on Foothill Boulevard in Rancho, and these demons are group stalking. Okay. Oh, let me get this Minion's license plate. License ECBENZ. A little white lily-faced minion monitoring at Bank of the West. You can see her walking toward the ATM. They're on surveillance cameras monitoring as well. Remember, my documentation is supplemental. The entity that's placing you under surveillance, they're documented using all the means of surveillance and security cameras and whatnot in an area. That's documentation that belongs to the target individual when you're prosecuting the state. And they are on surveillance cameras in relevant position. I also took a picture of them, and I also showed you the fake sun that's right over me in Rancho Cucamonga. They're stalking. 4NG4260. Driving a Benz, okay? Driving a Benz in Rancho Cucamonga. Coming from wherever it is that they sleep at night, they lay at night, they're demons, and they're engaged in criminal activity. And both of those facts are substantiated with this documentation. Because you cannot reconcile with the placement of the light source. That's how you know what they are, and you also know what they're doing. And while they go to an ATM,
demons thinking that they have some legal argument. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not stalking. I'm going to the ATM. Yeah, you're group stalking. That's what you're doing, Satan. And that's why an entity is flying over me by airplane in that parking lot in directed light. It's the same P.O.C. and the P.O.C. is ceaselessly underway. 8 TIA 582. 816-4372. Yeah, and that's why directed light is spanning all across the building. That's a demon, 8 TIA 582. And she's monitoring with the police department, understand? The Rancho Cucamonga Police, San Bernardino Sheriff's Department, those demons. And also the Rancho Cucamonga Superior Court, those demons. All right, and those demons with EGBENZ, those demons who I just documented under the fake sun, they're all monitoring together. You're not walking away crossing the street and those demons were, yeah, those demons were monitoring too. License plate 8FTV 172. 7POK 390, 86867R1, 7NSN 245, license 8HUN 250, 6KAC 390, Burtec, crossing path, 10745X2, excuse me, 96748T2, 5HGP 829, license plate 8GFD 896. Let me see. License 4 GCX 886. I'm gonna show you this picture. I'm showing you what is the people of the state I'm going to prosecute. You can see Burtec in traffic. Burtec is not by itself, though. The people of the state and these companies, this courthouse, this police station, this apartment complex with the people of the state, they're monitoring and they're molesting, reaching all the way across the street while those demons are driving in an opposite direction, touching me with directed light. 7EPT222, 8LPX523. I took a picture of that. Those are demons that know exactly what I'm talking about. For example, about those lily white minions, group stalking at Bank of the West, with license plate EGBENZ, who are being documented right now, while demons are crossing paths, including Burtec, on the opposite side of the street, and directed light is swiping all across me, across the brick wall, while I'm standing at the courthouse, by the way. This is the courthouse that's engaged in that P.O.C., and I'm going to prosecute the Rancho Cucamonga Superior Court for the pack of demon-possessed minions that they are, their group stalking at this courthouse. And I took a picture of that traffic. I took a picture of the fake sun right over my head. This is the demon that's tracking my steps under the fake sun at the courthouse. Directed light is on the curb. They're driving with a Nevada plate, a black Toyota Camry, ILYXIA, crossing path at the courthouse. That's federal prison. All right, they're monitoring. And this is what the entity is doing, by the way, while I'm walking on the sidewalk approaching this venue. This is what they're doing while in relevant position to the Rancho Cucamonga police. And I took a picture of what is the fake sun over me. That's the pattern of conduct, minions, demons that know who I am as a population, molesting and terrorizing with directed light. 88403L3, federal prison, and they got a child in the car while they're engaging in this terrorism. 03753G3, 89159, NATRAT, 8YBM655, 6PMF724, 6DIF427, 89542E3. And let me take a picture of the courthouse. I want you to see exactly where I'm at. Judges that I've already documented, they're waiting for their time. I'm going to prosecute them. They're still being documented for the multiple kidnappings that they've engaged in, and the multiple acts of fictitious prosecution that they have engaged in and facilitated by this entity. And doing so while I am documenting a molestation and terrorism, this is going on to the time that they will be sitting in federal prison. I'm documenting on the grounds of the not the federal court, of the Rancho Cucamonga Superior Court, where this demonic system is underway. Do you understand how that is revealing what exactly they are doing? Criminal conduct. Demons fill the courthouse. So I want to be clear. I'm just reminding you, while I'm at the courthouse, while I'm here, those judges who I told they were going to federal prison while I sat in that court and they perpetrated that crime against me, I told them they're going to federal court and they're going. Federal prison. 6NSP451 is also going to federal prison. This is pacing 7ZQY343. Demonic pacing is terrorism by demons who are stalking, and they also know that they're being documented. While they're listening to the fact that I'm going to use this against those judges who are demons who are going to sit in federal prison. Those who engaged in a fictitious prosecution and those who did not. 8SHB821. Because there's more than one reason why you're going to federal prison attributed to this criminal conduct at this courthouse. License 6PNE390. License plate 8RKV938, 8JMU039, 8GOJ220, 8PBB329, I believe, 8NWL310, 8L67114. So I want to be clear, the Rancho Cucamonga Superior Court, an ongoing accosting, molestation, terrorism with directed light, which is demonic, speaking to the condition of those that fill that courtroom. Those are demons that fill that courthouse, okay? They're engaged in the criminal system. That's why it's happening at this address. Understand that. 8SHB821, these demons outside are telling on the demons that are inside. And the fake son is directly over me. Allied Universal is group stalking in the parking lot. I'll prosecute that company for engaging in this sex offense and terrorism. 9BIA046, 6JWT400. This four-eyed twit parking and let me get her picture. Hold on. Show this demon under the fake sun. There you go. She's a four-eyed twit parking under the fake sun at the Rancho Cucamonga Superior Court. Remember, it's 9:12 in the morning. The sun is not going to be over the Rancho Cucamonga Superior Court at 8303 Haven Avenue. The entity is keeping the fake sun over me while I remain at the, I'm literally on Plum, and the Ontario International Airport is engaging in demonic stalking and terrorism, flying over me by airplanes. Between Ontario Town Square Townhomes, Metro 102, and then I'm walking down and the demons of the Ontario Police Department are driving by me trying to threaten me while I'm reading license plates of those demons who I'm going to prosecute, affiliate with that property, Ontario Town Square, where the pattern of conduct was underway. And then I'm standing by the Ontario Fire Department showing you the fake sun over my head, the City of Ontario Engineering Department with the fake sun over my head. That's where I'm at. And then I'm walking toward the Ontario City Hall, and then I go to the side of the Over Family Community Library. That is not over the parking lot. No, it's not occurring at the same time to be anywhere over Rancho Cucamonga 8303 Haven Avenue, a state facilitating venue where the pattern of conduct is underway. And it's not just criminal monitoring I'm revealing what is a matter of public corruption, and this is demon possession. Demons to be removed from positions that they currently hold while this criminal conduct is underway. Satan literally controlling what is a courthouse. And why is it relevant that Satan is controlling a courthouse? Because Satan is engaging in what is corrupt conduct. This is a corrupt entity. All right, and this is corruption that the Rancho Cucamonga Superior Court is engaged in, as I've also documented. Multiple acts of kidnapping, facilitating kidnapping, harassment, intimidation. 6 NSP 451 while they exercise fictitious authority under the law, and they're engaged in state surveillance and terrorism. That's why this environment is here. It's an impossible environment. It's scientifically impossible. All right, just 24 hours ago, and this is what you're looking at, the big picture as I'm documenting it. And that's why I captured that fake sun, and that four-eyed twit is getting out of the third party's vehicle with that license plate. 7AVG859 is another third party license plate, and the Rancho Cucamonga Superior Court big picture is a part of that sex offense. While demons are pacing around, nobody's getting away with anything. This is what I'm saying. Not only am I reading their license plate, I take delight because I'm going to prosecute the group stalker that is the Rancho Cucamonga Superior Court for this sex offense that they're engaging in. And then this is the psychopath that is Satan. You're supposed to sit inside of that court and participate in a criminal act that they perpetrate against you while they're engaged in the P.O.C. and these demons that are the police are kidnapping you and harassing, and you're supposed to sit in while they're waging false allegations against you. Even if you actually stole a candy bar and they engage in what is still a kidnapping, fictitious authority under the law, you go to the facilitating venue of the court and they're exercising fictitious authority for the candy bar that you attempted to steal. Understand, they remain the criminal. Demon-possessed ones, exercising authority under the law that they don't have. All right? And they're delusional. They are delusional. This is Satan that is delusional. Satan's time is up, and you'll go to federal prison for that. That's why that occurring, when I'm reading Bird Tech Cross Path, they're across the street molesting me with drugs. I'm right over here by the court. And I'm going to prosecute because the Rancho Cucamonga Superior Court is a group stalker. 7UYV746-75688B1, and they're doing it with those third parties whose license plates, those company names that are molesting and crossing path. They're doing it with the people. That's federal prison. Understand that. License 03269K3. That's how you're using an entity's criminal conduct, which is demonic, against itself. 7SKU543. 8UDJ498. Because this is the exact criminal system that these demons were engaging in while they were engaged in kidnapping by Officer Burnett, 5L40380. Officer Burnett, who engaged in kidnapping in 2019. Kidnapping by 6GHA415 is crossing path again after engaged in group stalking monitoring. They're part of this ongoing molestation. They remain in relevant position as I'm walking down the street. And they're monitoring again with the entity that is exercising fictitious authority. That's an unlawful threat. You go to federal prison for that. Monitoring with law enforcement, monitoring with the courthouses and whatnot. Those are the hornet's nest type. You go to federal prison for that. They're threatening you together. You're not going to help the entity monitor and stalk and threaten your life. The people of the state are not, and avoid federal prison. 90420L3, CG Landscape Incorporated. Part of the same molestation, same terrorism, same sex offense. All right? But like I was stating, this is the system that's underway while I'm outside of this courthouse. this is what this court is engaged in, state surveillance and terrorism. The system is underway. While the entity was engaged in kidnapping on January 13, 2020, as I reminded you about yesterday, fictitious prosecution pursuant to a kidnapping by this same exact entity and that courthouse, repeatedly engaging in what is acts of kidnapping. While I'm documenting today, they are still subject to what is ongoing relevant documentation to their criminal conduct as a corrupt courthouse in the state of California. And I will prosecute them for that. Every judge that got a forewarning, because I warned them while I sat in that court, and they were chaining my body up and engaging in defamation and disregarding what I was stating to them while they wanted to continue with kidnapping, monitoring, I told them. And I'm gonna tell you again, because I know you're listening, and you're going to federal prison. ATBF 675. And that's not all. You're going to federal prison, but know that. But that's not all that you're going to suffer. But you are sitting in federal prison. 48528F3, 7DNU 606. While you're sitting here right now in relevant position to 8303 Haven Avenue, you're molesting, and you're molesting on behalf of those state actors sitting inside of that courtroom because they're group stalking, they're monitoring together. 48528F3 is touching my breast and touching on my person with directed light on behalf of those demons sitting inside of the court. Why? Because they're in relevant position monitoring together. It's both monitoring, the elements of monitoring, and also facilitation of monitoring. License plate 7DNU 606. Alrighty, license plate 8EDJ 258. 8RJR 794, and it's not just the courthouse. Barton Plaza is over here, obviously, the Panera Bread inside on Terra Vista Town Square. But I'm going to prosecute this court that engaged in kidnapping. 6X Cincy 301, 17ND 114. They're all sex offenders touching, and they're touching in relevant position to the court. That's a sex offender group stalking. 9BFP 762, Rancho Cucamonga Fire Department, crossing path 4588 9X2. 7ADZ 450, wrinkly face, turkey neck. Old as dirt. I believe they're blackface minions as well. 8VKE259, group stalking with law enforcement, has nothing to do with Black Lives Matter. All right, they're engaged on black and black crime. You want to racialize these demons' criminal conduct. They're lying to you. It's a false narrative. It's a distraction. They're monitoring and they're targeting based on what is their condition. They're a bunch of demons engaging in a satanic targeting system in the state of California. And it doesn't matter if you were purple. They will be targeting you. This is the work of the devil. License 6KMZ 849. 7TLV 365, 8KVS 146, 7WCS 148, 8JSV 794, 57712L3, 8TZM 257, 7JRF 419. And American Medical Response is also crossing path at this intersection where I'm standing. 9AGT 860, 6WXD 178, 37542Z1, 8NCC 572, 39260V2. 8XSV 677, 68538P2, CYBOYBO, 37478J2, 6UBM 471, 8ZJM 280. Budget is crossing path 77052M3. License 7CEA 292. 7CVM 053, 9ESX 519, 8HPS 096, 7SUH 393, 62283 handicap. 6KGR 476, 8XLK 037. Golden Eagle, this is the company driving around the perimeter around the Barton Plaza. They're group stalking. They're part of the same sex offense, terrorism, ZOSO2. They're engaged in criminal monitoring with, again, monitoring with a part of any aspect of that hornet's nest. When am I referencing hornet's nest? Stalking with police, stalking with any entity that's exercising fictitious authority under the law. That's an ultimate act of terrorism and stalking, seeking to strike fear, seeking to literally harass you while you're documenting. This is the conduct that these demons engage in. While the target individual is looking at a police officer in relevant position, which is looking at a police officer stalking you in a specific environment, third parties who are pinpointed in relevant position with them are going to federal prison. That's how you're going to prosecute this demonic system. These demons that want to engage in tag team terrorism, they're going to find themselves sitting in federal prison. They want to engage in what is this molestation. They're going to find themselves, if not federal prison, you're talking about sitting in a mental ward. This is terrorism that they're engaged in. And remember, terrorism by psychopaths, terrorism that's supposed to never be capable of being proven. You're talking about, and I'm giving you the term of directed light. The ordinary target individual doesn't know what this is called, this light activity that these demons are engaging in, and they're not documenting it. You're quickly written off as somebody that's suffering from hallucinations. And by the way, those who are diagnosing that are demons abusing the medical profession, abusing the law to kidnap you, obstruct justice. All right, the targeted individual is in every way set up. All right, set up from beginning to the end. Satan using every single aspect of the entity to engage in the pattern of conduct in whatever state that you're in. And I've shown you every aspect of that P.O.C. So you're talking about engaging in this conduct, which the people of the state are doing while I'm walking down the street. It's legally relevant that I'm right here outside of the doors of the courthouse, relevant to the criminal conduct that they're engaged in now and the criminal conduct that I've already documented that they have engaged in, that they've perpetrated against me. It's also documented, analyzed as what is a impermissible threat by that state facilitating venue. Nonetheless, they're monitoring with these demons that are pacing on the street. And doing so, this is that criminal conduct where you're talking about suffering what is time and mental institution, and that's where you belong. You're not going to wander the streets, a lunatic on the loose, a ticking time bomb, terrorizing somebody, and doing so in the most malicious manner. Satan planned that you would never even be able to prove the fact that you are suffering that sort of terrorism and harassment by somebody who was stalking you. Okay, this is the pattern of conduct, and that's why they're going into mental wards. That's the conduct of psychopaths. That's a malicious system in operation. Anyway, I'm at Panera Bread, all right, where we've already heavily documented Vic, all right. It is currently 9:16 a.m. Panera Bread in Rancho Cucamonga at the intersection of Foothill and Haven. Group stalking in Panera Bread, walking into the women's bathroom, standing around the men's restroom as though they're helping them. Those demons are stalking there under the fake sun. This is how you can see the psychopath that they are. But this is what minions do. They keep their back to you. They converse with each other. Oh, I'm consumed with this over here. Meanwhile, directed light and a fake sun is over the Panera Bread. That's nowhere near Ontario. Nowhere near. Panera Bread's engaged in the P.O.C, which is exactly what Vic was engaged in when he was engaged in targeted harassment. Hey, you can't sit up in here. Well, you're not allowed to monitor. All right, and I'm being molested right now inside of Panera Bread. This is P.O.C. Are you in line? Oh, okay. Hi. What's your name?
I'm sorry?
What's your name?
Chandler, like from
Chandler. Hi, team manager. Okay, molesting with directed light. I want to get a any sort of where are those? What do you call them? Alrighty, I do want to document what is molestation. You can see it in the images. My enlarged shadow upright. I'm moving my hand out so you can see it. Impossible light activity. This is entirely demonic, and it's underway inside of a business establishment, which is very well known, Panera Bread. Okay, like I said, there is no exception to that P.O.C. And these are indeed psychopaths that want to conduct themselves outwardly as though they're doing anything else other than the P.O.C. You're not doing anything other than stalking, group stalking under the fake sun, and they're doing it to somebody that knows what's going on, which is a big mistake under federal law, especially when you're also using a public establishment. This is grounds of removing that company from existence, and not only civil and criminal prosecution. I mean every employee federal prison, all right? Every single last one. The state is maintaining presence via Panera Bread. You're not exercising in your individual right. You're not operating a legitimate business. You're not present on any First Amendment basis. You are present as the state. The state is providing orders to third parties. The state is walking around inside of Panera Bread. The state is in the parking lot. The state is entering, walking in and out of the bathroom. The state's sitting around stalking inside of the Panera Bread in this directed light under the fake sun. That's how group stalking works, and it's entirely malicious. And this is what Vic was engaging in while he was harassing. Hi, good morning. What's your name? Isabel. Thank you, Isabel. Isabel's the one you see group stalking in front of the bathroom. And she's also present where I'm standing, where that directed light is molesting my person. And this is exactly what Vic was engaging in while he's, again, monitoring me, but stating because I didn't purchase anything, that's why I have to go. That's why you can't just post up or whatever his verbiage was. He was monitoring. That's targeted harassment. All right. Anyway, it's currently 9:21 a.m. This is P.O.C. inside of Panera Bread. 7ZBX231. 8 CES 307. These are demons that are pacing around outside of the Panera Bread while demons are pacing inside of Panera Bread while directed light is flashing all about. while they're preparing their little breakfast sandwiches, creating their little smoothies, while demons are engaging in surveillance inside of a Panera Bread. The criminal pattern of conduct is underway. It's also being prosecuted as a sex offender. Panera Bread enters inside of the bathroom. That's predatory positioning. While they know that I'm approaching, the fake sun is over my head, directed light inside and all around, and I'm also being molested with directed light that I see. This is predatory positioning that Panera Bread engaged in. 8 CES 307. That's a sexually violent threat. It's very demented. 6YAZ 602. Intending to stalk in a bathroom. All right, somebody that actually does have to use the bathroom, and what's included in using, you don't want to take your clothes off. You know that they're engaging in what is relevant positioning. You know that they're stalking you. They also know that you're documenting it. This is a sex offender that's going in literally in front of your face. This is what group stalkers do. With impunity, stalking you in the bathroom, thinking that nobody knows, right? But I'm documenting the system. I'm showing you how Satan operates. They're going in the bathroom. They know that they're being documented, and they are in your face, letting you know I'm going in the bathroom. I'm monitoring you, and I'm doing so while I know the fact that you're aware of it. This is all engaged in. This is all communicated by the entity that's group stalking, and doing so in a bathroom. This is what they're doing. I took pictures of this while one demon goes inside of the women's restroom. The other demon, including Isabel, is with another third-party group stalker, flashing directed light, fake sun over my head while I'm walking inside of Panera Bread. These third parties are pacing outside of the Panera Bread under the fake sun in Ranch Cucamonga. That is nowhere near, by the way, the Ontario Fire Department, the City of Ontario Engineering Department, the Ontario City Hall, the Ovid Family Community Library directly over my head, where you also know it's the pattern of conduct where the entity is stalking by aircrafts. The Ontario International Airport repeatedly pacing over me over that senior citizen apartment complex. Okay, doing so while that fake sun is directly over my head. That's not over any Panera Bread and Ranch Cucamonga. This is the P.O.C. And I'm breaking down for you what demons engage in and how you're going to prosecute that. You want to stalk in a bathroom, you're a sex offender. You want to engage in running into the bathroom or following into the bathroom, you are still a sex offender. This is what group stalking is. The state is surrounding you at all times. They're basing on some sequence. I was in the bathroom first. That's what Satan will say while they're group stalking you. This is somebody that is unprepared for a prosecution for a group stalking. 8PIJ 694. License plate 6WIX209. I'm sorry. Hold on. 6WIX201 31743W1. Target is monitoring. While fake sun's over me in the parking lot, target's inside of Terra Vista Town Center, monitoring with these demons that are terrorizing me inside of Panera Bread in relevant position. 8XET734, 7SDG845, 8FJB842. 7JHU720, 8PIJ694, 8PVG9, yeah, I think I read those, 8KOA156, 3XCG908, 7SWD010, 7LEZ660. And I did want to be clear, Vic, who knows he's being documented. Vic, this is a demon. This is an entity that knows when I'm speaking of their particular name. I just want to be clear. It's not just the fact that Vic may or may not be on the schedule for work today at this facilitating venue that it's Panera Bread. I do want to be clear, though. Vic joins the party, crossing path in that environment, monitoring, while I am inside of the venue today. I do want to be clear, Vic, that I documented engaging with is targeted harassment because that's what you are engaging in the specific environment. You're not referencing any valid policy as to why you are removing the target individual that's documenting the P.O.C. It's a method of targeted harassment. 6JCJ607. And it's also a threat to engage in criminal summoning because what are you going to do if you want to sit there and continue minding your business while they're targeting and harassing you? That's a threat to engage in criminal summoning. All right, so you're chopping it off at the head. You're going to address every demonic tactic of harassment and terrorism, sexual violence, group stalking, period. 6LLU 636, 8ZCU 055, 8SAT 424, 01484F3, I believe. Just want to read some license plates. This is state surveillance and terrorism at Panera Bread, which is inside of, again, the venue, which is the Terra Vista Shopping Center. And this is where the fake sun is present over me, and that's speaking to the pattern of conduct where there is no legal argument to be present. To be present is to be engaged in group stalking. To be present, engaged in group stalking, is to be stalking on behalf of a state which has no right to place you under surveillance, which is how the entity is doing it through the people of the state. And using companies such as Panera Bread to do so. This is the conduct where the entity, you're going to address public corruption, not only civil and criminal prosecution, but also removing such companies from existence altogether because you do not maintain any rights. You're not violating any constitutional rights for the federal government to step in and handle such businesses that are literally the face of criminal conduct by a state. You don't have a right to operate a business for that because that's what you're doing in the specific environment. Directed light, that's why you document the environment inside. Panera Bread, you don't have an argument. You don't have a legal argument. And while you want to engage in criminal conduct with the state, Just like any other demon-possessed third-party group stalker on the street, undocumented. You want to group stalk with the entity on the street. You want to group stalk using your business as a facilitating venue. You're going to lose that business. You're going to lose it. After it is dragged through the mud and shown to be the criminal, the sex offender, the terrorist that it is by company name. That's what you're going to do. And that's necessary as a matter of justice. All right? That's what that's how you're addressing this demonic system. 7GCB036. 8BBB152, 7HLD119, 8NKX483, 6KOV433, 8CBD666, 8XOH995, 6EGJ843, 7LML242, I believe, 8JOS815, 2X51704, 8BEA593, 47104F1. This is A&E Factory Service. License 1055756. Vehicle number 21075 is on that van. And they're touching with directed light. License, that's a sex offense, touching me. License. And I'm at Haven and Foothill again. I'm crossing the street. Leaving Panera Bread, so I'm walking right back across the street. The fake sun remains over me while I do that. 7PBJ164, 7CWD298. NJW332. Golden Eagle Moving Services up in California, license 36708G3, and directed light all across these metal utility boxes while I'm walking on the sidewalk. These demons are using commercial vehicles at what is a facilitating venue, which is the Barton Plaza. Moving something in and out of a truck is a demon's method of pacing, by the way. They're doing it under the fake sun. You can do whatever you want under the fake sun. They're group stalking. They're present. That's all the state needs. This is how the state is engaging and monitoring you. And you also know that they're demons engaging in what is a malicious pattern of conduct while directed light is flashing all around you. These demons are outwardly conducting themselves as though they have nothing to do with that. License 8758242, P.O.C. at Barton Plaza. BENZ4LF, 7MRU675, I believe. 8RSC181. 6AKH902. These are the demons that are pacing around with that directed light all over while demons are in position stationary on my right side, and those demons are pacing by. This is the impunity by a pack of demons, a population of demons who continue stalking. All right? That's mental institution conduct, 8WKF324, mental institution conduct. These demons know that they're being documented. Okay? Doesn't matter how much you want to resist the fact that you're going to be prosecuted, you're being prosecuted. While you continue with that resistance, you're going to find yourself trying to resist a straitjacket in a mental institution. They're still stalking while I'm documenting. License plate, 5SUW192, 6YWY489, 7AUN367, I believe, 4JUZ062, 6TLJ830, 6YZP367, 8SXW315, 8KTEO29. License 7BIS693, 8DYR554, 8WPR326, 6PKJ508, it's 9:34 a.m. Not a damn thing. What's your license plate? This is a third party trying to distract me. What's up? What's your name? He's monitoring, and he's a demon. 5SUW192. Excuse my language. Anyway, license 7UIT603. TUFFMIA. Eight EXW185 DRIVCON 60CZ995 8TGA 237 BN268G1, I believe, paper. 8 NFU286 8 DDB 772 Suppose You Drive, license 725383. It's essentially similar. That's Suppose You Drive, readily identifiable company. It is currently 9:35 a.m. and I'm at the bus stop on Foothill Boulevard in Haven. Again, obviously, I'm documenting Barton Plaza, so I'm at that same bus stop, which is across from the Terra Vista Town Center. The fake sun's no longer over that town center, no longer over that Panera Bread. All right, in the same way, it's no longer over Tracy Banks's cars. I remain in it, coming from Ontario, street for street, turn for turn. It's directly over the top of my head at this bus stop, where I've been hours later from now, after 11 o'clock in the morning. I already documented this, even after 12 o'clock, on the days where I've documented going to the Fontana Lewis Library, coming from Ontario, walking, going to this area, waiting inside of the Panera Bread, being at this location, and I documented in the afternoon. This is already published documentation. This is irrefutable documentation of the same exact P.O.C. that remarkable and impossible, meaning unnatural. It's a scientific impossibility that you would be able to capture this, but I am capturing it, and I'm revealing to the world what is demonic activity. What is demonic activity? All right. And it's based on what are lies that we've been told about the environment, about the reality, literally, of if you've been lied about the reality of Satan or evil, whatever you want to call it. It's real. Okay. That's how I'm able to capture what is the impossible for you. It's called what I've referenced, impossible light activity, the fake sun, license UKE429. I can't see the last character. 6ZRD315 is another third party. I've called it the fake sun because it's a reference to what is an environment that is entirely unnatural. And it is a fake sun. That is precise in the terminology, because the sun is operating. What I'm documenting is not in conformity to scientific facts. 8ZVT045. So what we've been told about the sun, this is not it. Okay. What I'm documenting over, and that's why I call it a fake sun. License 8WVT568, 8PIE159, 7DEE931, 8TKS299, 266340Z1. And what you'll learn, what is both tragic, disheartening, terrifying, all right, and very sick, is the fact that you have a population of people that are stalking in that environment. It's very, very deliberate. They're in that environment. They know full well, hoping that you remain ignorant about everything around you. That's the malice of this system. And it's group stalking. All right, Omnitrans is approaching now. I'm going to get on this bus, and I will document it. It's bus number 2349, license 1545906. It's 9:37 a.m., P.O.C. All right, license 1WP4147. This is the third party inside of this parking lot of Longhorn Steakhouse. This is precise positioning for where I get off at the bus. They're using a commercial vehicle to create light activity. This is demonic. They're doing it under the fake sun. This is indeed the pattern of conduct. This is the demonic behavioral pattern. And this is the demonic behavioral pattern underway by the people of the state that are using a company vehicle to do so. That's associating companies, the people of the state that engage in the group stalking system on behalf of the state, engaged in commercial stalking, in other words. License 1WP4147 has the logo So Much Yes, Grigio Babe. I don't know if that is some sort of drink, but it's Anheuser-Busch 1 is what's carrying it. This is a Latino male, black glasses, short buzz cut. Alrighty, and you can see the fake sun right over me while I'm standing and capturing an image of this group stalker that's using a commercial vehicle. This is exactly what you're going to prosecute companies for. This is getting off of the Omnitrans bus. Understand this is concerted conduct. This is an entity placing under surveillance, engaging in what is the elements of monitoring, which is practicing demonic conduct, and you're including, so fascinating about it, this matter of public corruption. I mean, it's occurring in 2022. These demons are using their business establishments, their little fancy venues where they're at, and they're monitoring, and they're engaging in demonic conduct, all right? It's just occurring in 2022, and that's what you need to understand. 8RBH079, 8JGC536, and that's Anheuser-Busch that's carrying that trailer on that truck. And that's a demon that's operating a commercial vehicle. All right, so with regard to prosecuting the satanic system, this criminal monitoring on behalf of the state, that company is, as a matter of fact, objective evidence as to what is the specific environment where they are group stalking. You don't have any legal argument, no right to maintain presence. You are in every way subject to what is an implosion of this system of corruption, this public corruption that the state of California is practicing. All right, stalking you, and you are unaware of the fact that you are being monitored and subject to group stalking while they're present all around you on behalf of the state. That's the significance of that environment. And you want to use a company vehicle, by all means, that's fine. You'll be subject to civil and criminal prosecution. You're going to drain the pockets, and you're going to be prosecuted, and you're not going to avoid federal prison either. That's also why I'm capturing images of that third party driving that vehicle. 8FER560. Alrighty, and It is currently 9:53 a.m. under the fake sun in Rancho Cucamonga, California. Ortho mattress. I documented this particular demon who was accessing the ortho mattress while I was here before. And if I am correct, he is the minion that has the third-party license plate referencing Acts, the book of Acts, while he's engaging in satanic conduct, which he is still engaging in right now. License 6ZS8319, 6DZC995, 8NKP701, 5KLP937, 257ZNC, that's Nevada, 8UZC783, 8FEE837, FL18599, that looks like an out-of-state license plate. It's 9:54 a.m. 8ZJT584 with the entity stalking by airplane. It's a very small white plane flying over Haven Market. It's amplified in sound. That's how I know this small little plane is present, which is the P.O.C. fake sun over my head. And look who's dropping me off. This is P.O.C. She's monitoring. This is a psychopath that would target their own daughter. This is also demonic activity against one's own daughter. Yes. This is P.O.C. Got air gas. License 3628AR. And air gas U.S.2999712. And air gas is meeting at the intersection of Day Creek and Foothill. License 7P20416, 7M36141, SITHITS, 8NFL528, 8ALU866. That's a demon using a truck for ongoing noise. 8UZJ037, aware of what I'm doing physically, okay? That's what air gas is doing. You hear that? This is demonic. Again, that's 8849AG. That's air gas crossing path with directed light under the fake sun at Day Creek and Foothill Boulevard in Rancho. 8B33008. 8MKP788. 8T80360. 74632C2. 6655OG2. 8DZL477. 14586G3. 8XQZ751, I believe. 22098B2. O2BNJN, 8SLV187, 7KDE794, YP51716, that's DGW Express Incorporated, trucking company. 4PP7852 is on the back of that truck. I read that license plate already. 8YSB343, 05080C2, that's American Tire Depot. And they were also monitoring when they used to touch my vehicle and change my tires. I'm familiar with that company. 8YBS343. And let's just say tampering with my vehicle has occurred while the people of the state were engaged. I was subject to this monitoring, and I did not know that demons were changing my oil. Demons were adjusting my, or I'm paying for tires and messing with my vehicle as well. 7UWC940. But I just want to put that out there while I'm documenting American Tire Company crossing path. The last time I documented them, by the way, as an aside, was in Pasadena, California, where the Pasadena Police Department was engaged in group stalking. That's where this case that I'm documenting against law enforcement really took off, because the Pasadena police were stalking me in the middle of the night on a dead-end street. And it was it was the weirdest incident. And this is a demon. This is the P.O.C. that I documented in Pasadena. That's when I started heavily documenting the police even more. While they were stalking. 29084H3, 8UNZ821, 7XTL315. And this incident is specifically outlined in my court documents, where I brought my civil case against the state of California, which this state unlawfully evaded service of process for through the same demon-possessed agency. Don't be surprised, the San Bernardino Sheriff's Department. Right? This entity, 8TJY151, this is the stalking by the police department. That's the police department that engaged in. I specifically mentioned this in my court documents, speaking to the wealth of documentation, the history of documentation of police stalking, and the very peculiar incident that I was subject to in Pasadena, California, after coming from an American Tire Depot. Bought a new tire, and this is in Pasadena, and The police were stalking at a dead-end street. I mean, it was just, I'm not going to go into all that, but this is documentation that I've already published before, and I specifically mentioned it in my court documents. This court case was, the state of California that I'm documenting now evaded service of process, 8 WEK 721. Alrighty, and again, Thomas Garza is going to federal prison. I stated that before, but he's going to federal prison. The entity that, this is the pattern of conduct evasion of service of process by the entity that's placing you under surveillance and terrorizing you and repeatedly kidnapping you, stealing my car after this entity evaded service of process. All of those harms were suffered and are continuously suffered by the criminal act of Thomas Garza. He's going to federal prison. The entity, by the way, stalking by helicopter at that San Bernardino courthouse. The entity keeping a fake sun over my head at that San Bernardino courthouse, where they're exercising fictitious authority under the law while the pattern of conduct is underway, evading service of process. All right, denial of First Amendment rights. While you're monitoring at that, you're going to federal prison. All right, I've been documenting Thomas Garza for years. 63414M3, and he knows it. 8NWF963. License 8TZM257. 8ZLU922, 5DXV062, DT359 handicap, 7NOC184, 55828X1. Directed light across 8009 Day Creek. These are demons, 90185L3. And this is Victoria Gardens, demons. Okay? Doesn't matter how well manicured the bushes are, the bush and the trees are around a demonic environment. These are demons, license 8YQZ393. All right, and these demons are stalkers, living in a nice neighborhood, driving a Benz. And you're stalking me, Satan. That's what's so pathetic about them. That's what they don't want you to know. License plate. I'm at Victoria Gardens Lane and Day Creek Boulevard. 8GVZ747. Seven MOE 906, 9 BGM 794, 8 KXB 731, 7 UGX 680, 7 RXA 279. Penske Truck Rental is crossing path as well. 7 WRW 322, 8 YYT 243, 1566755, San Bernardino County. License 6XDA 739, 8 KWE 675. Rojas Trucking 86244K1, 5VYG976, 8ZNM280. (827) VT handicap. (8) SRE 402. (7) JSJ 346. (8) HRR 025. (8) KQG 422. R88 1BO. 8 WFV 821. 7 GVM 815. Looks like 8 TPM 584. Yeah, that's correct. At Victoria Gardens, I've been walking along the sidewalk, which is aligned to the Victoria Gardens, but I'm just speaking to him walking at the entranceway where I walk in at the Cheesecake Factory and Brio at South Main Street, the property of Victoria Arbors and the Angelica Ranch Cucamonga. These apartments are along Day Creek. This is where I'm at. This is where the fake sun is over me. All Ready? And it is 10:04 a.m. where this is the case. This is P.O.C. 8 PTM 584 crossing path with directed light. 8XHS 907 the same. 8 YOK 424. 8 NAK 923. 8 RDH 657. 8 LEC 350. 8 KVR 218. 6 ENG 181. 8 HLU 287. 9 AWM 930. 8 ZTG 833. 8 PNW 929. 7 SOZ 132. Make sure this is correct. 8 ZTG 833. 8 WGW 720. 8 XBL 777. San Bernardino County crossing path again inside of the Victoria Gardens. License 6WXM 898. 7 JOJ 264. 8 DME 140. 8 KWV 531. 8 FHD 175. 8 NVY 358, 8 ZQNO 50, 8 XEP 699, 6 ZJU 333, 7 YJF 535, 7 SAR 581, 5 TXM 410, 5 VFV 964. That's Cheesecake Factory creating noise. That's a demon that's monitoring. 7XQT666 inside a Cheesecake Factory. 6WSCO31, 7JLT928, 6FIT489, 6USS390. All right, you're learning about what's demonic activity. This is noise and engineered light. That's why the fake sun is over you. License plate 8EEZ 552 7WEU 102. These are demons that are pacing around. Directed light 8 MWP 655. 8 AFX218, group stalking around all these well-manicured bushes and trees, right? All these overpriced items, or they're group stalking. 6 PXP 987, engaging in what is stalking by a bunch of demons, a bunch of the living dead pacing all around you at Victoria Gardens. 8 SRU 200, 9 AOH 455. License 7 XVN 096, 8 ZNM 280. 9BCJ 778. All right, this is a demon, CD78F94, engaging in surveillance, directed light, which is an act of terrorism. As an ordinary target individual is looking at this directed light all over the place, they're terrorizing you, a bunch of demons that are stalking you. And that demon's engaged in surveillance, group stalking, waiting for me to walk by. That's criminal surveillance, and they're doing so on this other demon that's driving by the food hall, which is a facilitating venue. That's why that directed light is on that building. This is the same food hall where I was standing at 9:42 a.m., by the way, and those demons were pacing around in directed light, and the fake sun was over my head at this same Victoria Gardens. And if you'll recall, I juxtapose not only on my website, but also on my YouTube channel, The Pattern of Conduct, because I want you to remember where I was at this same location in front of the parking garage, which is adjacent to the same food hall building at the same mall, Victoria Gardens, and those demons were pacing around me while I was inside of a parking garage. They were driving on the outside of the parking garage, and you saw that light activity inside of that parking garage. That parking garage is at the same location next to the food hall. That would not be the sun at 5:19 p.m. at the same address as what is 9:42 a.m., by the way. 7SXW728. This is indeed demonic. That third party is engaged in criminal surveillance in the specific environment and is monitoring while you are looking at directed light. That's an act of terrorism. 9F93336. That is the conduct that will result in what is restraint in a mental institution. You're not going to engage in terrorizing somebody else and doing so in ways in which Satan thinks you can't prove it. That boat has sailed. 7F93336. And you're engaging in what is group stalking, terrorizing, harassing with your demonic methods. You're a threat. You're a ticking time bomb. You're going to be removed from the ability to threaten the public any further. That's what that documentation establishes. 8EQC 751. That's exactly how you're going to use it as well. That's how you're going to prosecute Satan. All right, Satan is an entity. That's what group stalking is. So Satan is acting via 8EQC 751, who is monitoring. Directed light, you hear that beeping? That's Victoria Gardens. That's acting with impunity, with McKesson. License 8VWW359, 45196Y1 is McKesson, the company engaging in P.O.C. While they want you to hear them, I want you to also recognize I'm going to prosecute them. That's audible activity in directed light under the fake sun, and they know that they're being documented. License 8YYT243. It is currently 10:10 a.m. Fake sun remaining over me en route to the Paul Bine Library, walking through the Victoria Gardens right now. And fake sun's right over me, street for street, where I am specifically, walking through the Victoria Gardens, and nowhere near an absolute abandon from being anywhere near center over anybody's head, as the fullness of this object is in its zenith over my head in Rancho Cucamonga, specifically at the Rancho Cucamonga Victoria Gardens, specifically on the street where I stand in front of Victoria Gardens right here. 12482 is the address of Forever 21 inside of Victoria Gardens, and is nowhere near the side of the Ovid Family Community Library, where the pattern of conduct, the entity is surrounding me with this demonic environment, while demons are pacing all around. And that's exactly what they're doing by airplane and vehicles, sitting around inside of the buildings. For example, Wells Fargo works there, 280 North Limit Apartments, they live there, the Ontario Senior Center, maintaining occupying presence there, and doing so while they're stalking by the Ontario International Airport in planes. All right, that's why the fake sun is over me there. It's not going to be anywhere near over some Victoria Gardens. It's not occurring at the same time. It's directly over me, over the side of that library. That's exactly where it's at. And also, when I'm at the library in Ontario, that's where it remains, by the way. It's never over the Victoria Gardens, never over Forever 21, never over the Paul Bine Library, when it's documented remaining there all day long, by the way. But this is the P.O.C. And I have arrived. It's 10:11 a.m. Sure now, 10:12 a.m. And the fake sun remains over me en route to this venue. So this is a documentation of what is federal stalking by entity in the bathroom. So this is what they're doing. The entity falls within environment. This is terrorism. This is demonic. You're going to prosecute demonic activity by an entity placing you under surveillance as terrorism. The entity is following within environment to a particular venue, keeps that environment there for however long, as I've shown you what is an impossible environment. The sun is not remaining over any venue, let alone Rancho Cucamonga, when it's remaining at, as I've shown you to compare, so that there's no question about what I've shown you, showing you what is this demonic environment. So while you're keeping a demonic environment around a target individual, you are terrorizing them, and you're engaging in gang conduct while the demon possessed, because that's your condition in that demonic environment, where you are not coincidentally or accidentally or unintentionally present. It's this very deliberate system of group stalking, which is the revealing of demonic activity. If you did not know that Satan is real, Satan's minions are real, now you know. Okay? And that's what the system of group stalking is. It is no conspiracy theory. And it is also revealing to you what is a matter of fact as well, demonic activity. And it's to be prosecuted. It's not impervious to prosecution in a federal court. It is terrorism. And it's the state of California, it's the public entity's pattern of conduct. And group stalking is occurring on behalf of, well, both the state is group stalking and the people of the state are group stalking vicariously. This is the group stalking conduct. The entity is wearing the mask of the people of the state, in other words, where you're not supposed to be aware, you're not ever supposed to be able to even successfully allege, let alone prove, that strangers are stalking you. All right, because you're supposed to be automatically written off as crazy. This is the malice of the system. As I've shown you, Satan is not intelligent or sophisticated whatsoever. What you are witnessing now that I've shown, remove the veil, this illusion that Satan has going on, this illusion, because this is what this is. These are all illusions with regard to what is the reality of the system, what's a psychopath that's stalking you, look in the opposite direction, a psychopath that is stalking you and doing so in places like the bathroom. So this is how you're going to dissect this. You want to stalk in the bathroom, you're a sex offender. All right, you want to engage in positioning. You don't have any legal right to be there. You don't have any, the state is using the people of the state. Okay? Understand, it's the state. The state does not have a right to be at what is Panera Bread. I don't care if you work at Panera Bread. It's the state that is present via the people. You are removing these illusions of rights that they have. They don't have them. It's a malicious system. You are piercing right to the core of it. All right. And these are psychopaths. These are demons that are targeting you, thinking that they had some impeccable, just impenetrable system. And no, they do not. No, they do not. And while they engage in this malicious conduct, they're going to find themselves, as a matter of justice, which is with objective evidence showing that your mind state is a threat. You are a threat to the safety of the public, both while you engage in the P.O.C. and both while you seek to conceal your condition while you're engaging in that pattern of conduct, and both while you maintain knowledge of the fact that you are being documented, where that is part of the fact pattern. And they're doing it to somebody that knows what's going on, and I'm documenting. You are an entire psychopath, and you belong in a mental ward, if not federal prison. Okay, so I just want to be clear on that. This is why the entity's environment is here. Paul Bine Library is a state facilitating venue. The state is maintaining presence around me. You don't have any right to operate any business, any shopping mall. You don't have a right to be present inside of that venue. This is all presence on behalf of the state. So you're understanding actually what is the state that is keeping you under surveillance, period. The state is present directly. The state is present vicariously. Both methods of group stalking by the state shall be prosecuted, period. You don't have a right to be present on behalf of the state, and this is what's supposed to be that concealed system, and you're understanding what is state surveillance and terrorism. Anyway, so this is why the environment is here, and this is revealing what is federal stalking by an entity in the bathroom, because this is what they're going to be doing, pacing all around. All of these demons, an entire entity together knows when I'm in the bathroom, what I'm doing in the bathroom. It's an unprecedented, unfathomable level of an invasion of privacy. It is the conduct of sex offenders who seek to engage in this, treating an American citizen like an animal. That's exactly what you're doing, and they're doing it in plain sight. So you're looking at, for example, on surveillance cameras, these are demons walking around outside. Those demons know when I'm in the bathroom outside. All right, you're looking at them on camera, but you don't know what they are aware of. You're looking at the outward conduct of a bunch of demons, okay, people with evil spirits on them, and they're placing somebody under surveillance. They're standing around talking and holding babies and laughing and coking and joking and talking on their phone under the fake sun and indirect light. You are not aware of what's inspiring their movement, their arrival, or their departure, which is activity creation in that specific environment, while they are demons fully aware of what I'm doing in a whole other area of the library. That's the reality of what Satan is doing amongst the people. All right. And that's shown, you know that, because I've shown you what's the environment that they're in. All right. So if you are at a loss for words for what's the explanation for what you cannot deny, which is the environment, which is literally in violation of scientific facts, which we can all agree on scientific facts. All right. This is not about some religion that you claim some allegiance to. This is not about that. We can all sit down and agree on scientific facts. No one can deny that. You want to know, if you're at a loss for words for what it is that you are witnessing, as I have shown it for your eyes to see yourself. I'm not telling you what it is. I'm showing you what it is. Let me let you know what this is. This, which you are perhaps apprehensive to name, it is the work of Satan. If you did not know that Satan is real, if you did not know that Satan's minions are real, if you did not know that demonic activity is a real thing, if you did not know that group stalking is not a conspiracy theory, it's not some hallucination of somebody suffering from some mental incapacity, which is the P.O.C, by the way. The pattern of conduct is to defame one alleging it. The pattern of conduct by the state is to maintain it as a fallacy. That's why in any way that you are defaming and perpetuating that narrative, you're facilitating a government's pattern of conduct. And if that's coming out of your words, those words are coming out of your mouth are being published to the public in any way, injecting yourself into a legal process, you will be prosecuted for facilitation. And you don't want none of that. You don't want no parts of that, I'm telling you. All right. But this is protection of an American citizen in every regard, every way that Satan is targeting. And this is what I've been subject to, and I'm witnessing it, and I'm advocating on behalf of the ordinary targeted individual that is literally, I mean, you are in every way just ambushed by this satanic system, and I've seen it. I'm looking at it myself, and so this is serving to protect in every regard your constitutional and human rights by a government that essentially just wants to bully you. And if you did not know, bullies are cowards. All right, and so I'm pulling the rug from under this coward. All right, and it can't handle it. This is what you're also witnessing. You cannot handle it. That's why you're engaging in things like criminal summoning, because you're scared. That's why you're making information up and kidnapping, because you're scared. Because you're also not going to get away with it. You're also going to spend federal time in prison for that. But let me be clear, at the core, Satan is scared. You're facing the music for what you've been doing, all right? And so you're doing it to me, and I'm advocating on behalf of the ordinary target individual who is voiceless, all right? Who deserves justice. So anyway, it's currently 10:19 a.m. And again, it's Friday, July 15, 2022. I am at Paul Bunyan Library, where the fake sun is over me, remains for the duration of the day. All right. Common sense right here. Bottom line, the sun is not going to be present at this venue. And when I exit at 6 p.m., the sun remains right here. That's the P.O.C. All right. And in addition to wherever it is that you're at, the sun is not anywhere in Texas. It's not anywhere in New York, in Idaho, in Mississippi. Well, it's remaining over the Paul Bunyan Library. All right. These are facts. This is revealing what the state of California is engaged in. And it's satanic. Satan he has a whole bunch of puppets in the state of California engaged in what's a criminal conspiracy, and it's group stalking. All right. And they're going to serve in federal. They're going to serve the repercussions for that in a federal court. All righty. This is P.O.C. It is 10:39 a.m. Good morning. Hi. I'm Erica. What's your name? Oh, hi, Rachel. You're the same one. I was going to ask. Today is Friday. You guys close at the same time, right?
Right.
6 p.m.? Okay, thank you. I just want to get relevant positioning. The entity is stalking in the bathroom, and these employees are lined up in relevant position, monitoring while the entity enters inside of the private space, engaging in what is group stalking in the private space of the bathroom. Paul Bunyan Library. Good morning. Hi. What's your name?
Christina.
Christina? Nice to meet you, Christina. She's engaged in the P.O.C. as well. This is Paul Bunyan Library. This is P.O.C. The entity stalking in the restrooms, 10:40 a.m. All right, I want to document. It's 5:45 p.m. and I captured the fake sun directly over me while I am standing on the inside of the same building, on the same side where I stood this morning. I believe around 10:45 in the morning. The fake sun's over me on the same side where I stand on the inside today, right before I exit. It's 5:45 p.m. That is, I mean, that's so impossible. It's amazing what I capture, though. But it's captured in the images. I mean, I do this on daily. But I'm just letting you know the reality of where I'm standing this morning. I'm outside of the Paul Bunyan Library. The fake sun's right over my head. I'm standing on what is the side of the library where the book stacks are, on the inside where I am standing. This is approximately 5:35, 5:40 p.m. I'm standing inside of the library, and I took a picture standing. I'm just on the inside of the library, on the same exact side where I stood this morning, on the outside of the library. The fake sun's over my head this morning, around 10:40 something in the morning. But when I enter the library, the fake sun is over my head while I'm looking up through the windows on the inside of this library, the same building. And then as I step out, then the fake sun is on it's also at the same location, while it is vastly in a position where it would never be seen through the window, by the way, as I walk out of this entrance of the library. And it's still over what is the Victoria Gardens Cultural Center, which I show you while I'm walking right out of the door. Group stalkers are walking inside of the venue. I'm showing you the fake sun right over my head. It's the maintenance of a light source, but it's also speaking to where I'm standing. I'm standing on the inside of the library, on the same side where I stood on the outside of the library this morning. So I'm just outside of the library. In the evening, right now in the afternoon, I'm on the inside of the library. That's what you're looking at when I showed you the fake sun as I walked in. That's what you're looking at as I showed you the fake sun and the directed light on the book stacks inside. That's speaking to what Paul Bunyan Library is engaged in. The Paul A. Bunyan Library is engaged in criminal summoning. Victoria Gardens is engaged in criminal summoning. The entity is sounding sirens in that specific environment. And this is terrorism, while a whole entity is engaging in this conduct, and a bunch of psychopaths that are stalking and monitoring. It's communication of a threat. It's communication of what is targeting by minions that are doing so. And sounding creating audible activity, all right? And they're doing so in the specific environment. It is all manner of a communication of a threat and an intent to target and harass you while you are documenting it. So these are demons that are monitoring one who they know is also documenting it. So you are also intentionally communicating that threat and harassing in this regard. And you're doing so at what is the facilitating venue, Victoria Gardens, where the sun has not moved anywhere while it remains over me upon my entrance of the Victoria Gardens Paul Bunyan Library and upon my exit of the Victoria Gardens Paul Bunyan Library, by the way. Okay, that is P.O.C, and I want to be clear, every employee, every minion I captured in the entire property, Victoria Gardens, and it does span beyond Victoria Gardens of property, but I want to be clear, my pool of defendants includes those, this is grounds of federal prison, while they're pacing around in direct light, engaging this demonic system at what is a commercial venue, Victoria Gardens. They're engaged in criminal summoning. Okay, this is P.O.C. It is currently 5:48 p.m. 5:45 p.m. is when I started recording this. This is when the entity was sounding sirens while I'm sitting outside of the library right now, and fake sun remains, as I already took pictures of. So you will see these images on my Google Drive. Okay, many of the images of the third parties, very often I do like to publish the images of the demon-possessed criminals, sex offenders, stalkers, group stalkers. I do that. And I do that for a very specific purpose. But all of my images, whether I specifically publish them enlarged on my website for you to see them or not, they're all of my documentation for any particular day, or a court case if I'm separating it for purposes of some fictitious prosecution, some criminal act by the court, however I organize it. It's all shared on the Google Drive. Okay, so, and today again, it's July 15, 2022. This is the entity engaged in criminal summoning in Rancho Cucamonga under a fake sun, a bunch of demons stalking, group stalking at what is Victoria Gardens. This is a well-known shopping mall. Criminal conduct, demonic activity, state terrorism, and surveillance is underway here, and it's very demented. And I showed you what is that demented criminal system while I'm showing you what would never be the sun over this same venue as I arrive at this venue and as I'm exiting, sitting outside. And that's terrorism while a bunch of demons are stalking, because that's exactly what that reveals to you. That's exactly how you know, as a matter of fact, objective evidence, because it is impossible that the sun, as it's clearly over my head, I'm capturing it, is present over me at the same property, which is also terrorism. While you document, you're subject to it. This is ongoing documentation for terrorism, and you're talking about prosecuting the Victoria Gardens shopping mall, which is what I'm going to do. This is a facilitating venue for the state of California. You don't have a right to do that, and you will be civilly and criminally prosecuted. All right. This is the P.O.C. and they're engaged in criminal summoning. It's 5:50 p.m. 8XFZ049, 8UTF894. Eight WFC 720, 8 RYP 149, ASIR, 8 MUV 420, 8 VPN 109, 8 VQC 112, FY 967 handicap, Climatech, CL number 1027412, and the license plate is 38643T2. That's probably CL number, is probably California license number. They're using that California license to engage in criminal conduct. 8 PGS 205, 8 UGJ 246, 5 ZEU 086, 7 RZL 742, 5 SBX 489, 7 HRL 818. 7 VPT 383, 7 KAG 534, CE31J17, that's a paper plate, by the way. That's CEJ. Eight EIZ 428. 8ZJZ924, 6RIK313. Let me show you the fake sun that they're all pasting under. CE40C64. I'm at Victoria Gardens, where you see that fake sun blaring over my head on the same street that I walk in the morning to go to the library. Moving from the library building, right? Remaining all day long. Remaining at the property of Victoria Gardens. And it is currently 6:23 p.m. BAKERS 5. APER 699, 8TVE 295, 5EQU 945, 9YMERIA 39977H3, 64607U2, 7ZLC 131. 8XMG235, 7XCN177, 9AKW493, 8JCD029, 8XFZ049, 8LPT768, 8SXM479, 9BIX436, 8LOF573. Eight RNE 807. 8 MJB 393. 7 BNC 972. 6 LJR 141. 6 SUP 115. 7 RYR 101.
Head west toward Day Creek Boulevard.
8 CDZ 769. The fake sign is over the windshield, and this is where it remains over this vehicle as I leave the property of Victoria Gardens. 8 EYN 152.
Turn left on Day
And
Creek
over
Boulevard.
the Angelica, that's where I took a picture at Day Creek, and you're looking at the fake sign that's over the property where it's over me, where I'm walking on Day Creek from the bus stop. You're looking at it over the same exact intersection, precisely aimed on me through windshield of the vehicle. And then instantaneously, after remaining at the property of Paulbine Library, moving as I move. All right. This is demonic activity documented at Victoria Gardens, a shopping mall. ISCSTRG. A facilitating venue is what Victoria Gardens is. The entirety of that property.
Up there?
License 7ROR760, 7UYX219. Yeah, that's Foothill Boulevard. 90486H2 CD 91P68 paper, 8CXU373, 9BFB555. 8AQY706, 8TPM561, 8YRL085. 8EZJ9Z2, 8UFK334, 8TJT406, 7XPA697.
Evaluation for the FDA. Confident that we will provide people with the correct protection if they get.
Looking at the same Longhorn Steakhouse where I was this morning, fake sun remaining over me through the window of the vehicle. At the same intersection, Day Creek and Foothill. Driving south and then turning east on Foothill Boulevard, fake suns remaining over me through the vehicle windows.
In 1,000 feet,
License
turn right onto the
8ZEN718,
South Ramp.
7BDY767, 8KGM555, 05734J2. Passing by the same Ortho mattress. 24288S2. Remember when I stay here, when I wait for the bus, remember the Route 66, this is where the fake sun stays. As I leave from this venue, that's where the fake sun goes over me. A demonic environment. 7KRM007. This is P.O.C. Oh, hold on. 8ZKH483. 8AJM675. Pay attention to the timing of the phone ringing. Alrighty? Stalking with activity creation. CD51E96. This is the demon stalking with light activity. The fake sun's at Montclair Place. 8ZHT961. Molesting. Group stalking, standing in front of the entrance in directed light while it's fanning out, while demons are walking in and out. This is Montclair Place. This is P.O.C. T-Mobile's in here inside of Montclair Place right here about the entrance. They're molesting. Montclair Place, by the way, the entire mall is another facilitating venue where state surveillance is under demonic activities, terrorism, and the impossible placement of the sun in alignment with where I'm standing at that entrance. The pattern of conduct is directed light while demons pace in and out of that entrance doors. An entire entity knows where I'm at. All right, and this is a demonic entity. And this is a demonic pattern of conduct underway at what is a facilitating venue. Kevin Jewelers is in here, Starbucks, JCPenney, Spectrum. They're monitoring. And I'm showing you what's the fake sun directly over me at the Montclair Place. It is currently, and I captured that in still images, it's 7:13 p.m. The fake sun follows from the Paul Bryan Library, Victoria Gardens. You'll see it over me directly while I'm on the freeway over the vehicle. And now we're in Montclair the entire time. I also took a picture, which you will see, Stater Brothers at 646 West Hope Boulevard in Ontario. I took a picture of the fake sun right over me. That's the same parking lot that I'm present in the morning when I'm showing you the fake sun directly over my head. And that's the impossible placement of that light source. This is P.O.C. I'm on the surveillance cameras inside of the Montclair Place and inside of what is JCPenney. This is P.O.C. 8UFF697, molesting. 7YJJ374. They're all monitoring the bathroom, stalking the bathroom as well. This is Montclair Place, a sex offender, a group stalker, engaged in surveillance in a private space. 8ZML043, 8ZKR307, 6ALL164, 6VSV671, monitoring while my panties are down. The sex offender's license, 6EDL482, 7T85324, 5XEZ647, MIMZ3, 7KSZ056, 8A33370, 8JHD064, 8JJM201, 8VUD353. Yeah, keep walking straight, right up here. 8FAF063, EX110, handicap. All right, the same, monitoring while my panties are down and engaged in surveillance in the parking lot, 32694B1. Also a sex offender molesting me with directed light. License 8PJD639, 7VAZ040, 8BAE203, 5YDZ248, 7KYX037, 6VNT872. Yeah. 7KYX037. Yeah. 4NDX233. 7JUX710. CB25P69 paper, 7RVC032, 9BIK539, 8XKL9. I think I read that one already though. 7YAK583. This is a sex offender affiliated, retired U.S. Army. You need to know they're demons and they're violent sex offenders and they're engaged in group stalking. All right, terrorism. 7ZUV592. 7CVH272, 8CET701, 6KEK514, 5HIX986. Let's see, 6RQH470, I believe. And this is Costco gasoline, which is across the street from the Starbucks that I documented in Montclair, where the entity was flown over by helicopter. And I remained at that Starbucks on Central Avenue in Montclair, and the entity kept that whole scene that I documented. Costco's right across the street from that Starbucks in Montclair, California. And Costco is monitoring right now with the people of the state. Costco represents the people of the state. It is a facilitating venue right now that is engaging in other words, providing a place for the state of California to engage in a criminal pattern of conduct of group stalking. That's what Costco is doing right now. This is P.O.C. at Costco Gasoline. 8X and B493. 7HLU894. 8CG. I can't really see that one. You can scratch that one. That is 6RQH470. 7NHS223. 8SVA462. 7XQS391. It's 8:42 p.m. 8PLX676. Molesting. Which is Costco molesting. Everybody relevant position, the Starbucks, the Sleep Number, the AT&T, the Creamer Street, H&R Block, Jersey Mike's. We're over here at Central Avenue. 6UBH873, 6ERM003, 6MTA903, 7XXN415. She's talking to you. 7MBN022.
That's terrible. That's really terrible.
8NXJ705, 8GYH203, I believe. 5EGB007, molesting. Yeah. 6ZNE780, 8DOE313, 8DUE313, 8PCT846, 8ZYR221. And what you're listening to, I'm just dealing with a psychopath who's steady monitoring me while I'm documenting all the minions around her. 8HSD951, who's monitoring with her. That's what's going on here. It's currently 8:45 p.m. This is Katsu Ramen and Gyoza minions monitoring. All right, Dos Amigos Birria at 9359 Central Avenue. They're monitoring. Tommy's Burgers. They're monitoring. License 38738J2, 5VIR313, 8XVZ626, 6MMS900. And the third party is driving the car and through the parking lot with the hazard lights on. It's ongoing facilitation. It's P.O.C. 6MNK370, 8LSR48483. Hold on, I'm gonna document. 6FBG173, 7CKR863, because everybody facilitating, I'm gonna make sure I document. 4GSP309. 5AEJ631, 6ACE342, CD35S10 paper, 8GML096, 6VJE451, 3EB3AB3, 8SCP194, 8UHD424. Alrighty. The Ontario Police Department engaged in the same stalking. All right, not learning their lessons. I'm going to disband them. I'm going to do it before the world. They're stalking in a helicopter. They're group stalking with the people of the state, where the entity knows where I'm sleeping, where demons engage in surveillance on the streets, stalking with light, where the entity is molesting me with directed light inside of the car, where the Ontario Police Department are group stalking using a whole helicopter. You're going to remove this police department from existence. This is stalking in your face. That's impunity. All right, and I want to be clear, those demons that were engaged in surveillance the other night, sitting around me, knowing exactly what I'm doing inside of the vehicle, okay, inside of a vehicle, Satan knows what I'm doing inside of the car while they're stalking and molesting me with directed light. That was this third party who I documented stalking with the officer Burnett, That demon who was on more than one occasion, not only engaged in kidnapping, but engaged in what is stalking me literally on this same exact street. Those minions, 7C VF583, she's the one who was monitoring with the other demon on the side of the street while they were surrounding me while I'm sitting inside of the car, just like I pointed out in that video where the Ontario Police Department are stalking, flying over me by helicopter. She is going to federal prison, okay? This is P.O.C, the demonic environment where the Ontario Police are stalking. That's not light activity that's coming from a street lamp. They're stalking. 6YLX 838 is a third party that lives at 325 West G Street. I'm documenting this demon while she lives in relevant position inside of a facilitating venue. Engaged in an ongoing perpetual sex offense. Demons that are driving by, directed light molesting me inside of the car. Impossible light activity while demons are stalking in a helicopter. That's the Ontario Police Department. All right? They're going to federal prison, and I'm going to disband that police department. It's 9:07 p.m. This is what the entity is doing all night long, okay? All night long. P.O.C. Pay attention. You see my shadow over here on this tree? See that directed light on the house? The Ontario Police Department are demon-possessed. This is demonic activity. They're flying over Woodside Senior Apartments. It's a prosecution of the people. It's the identification of a venue. In other words, they are group stalking with Woodside Senior Apartments. That's the pattern of conduct. And this directed light is speaking to demonic conduct that the Ontario Police Department, a police department, the state, in other words, is facilitating. This is terrorism, as I've termed it for you. State surveillance and terrorism. Stalking an American citizen in helicopter. It's shameful, and I'm going to use it to prosecute them, okay? And I want you to pay attention. This is my shadow here. This is another shadow back here. The Ontario Police Department are a pack of demons, just as I've shown you throughout the totality of my documentation. And so are they, the people of the state. All right, demonic environment around your house. Guess what lives inside? The demon-possessed. I'm showing you what is the demon-possessed population that's stalking. This is the system of group stalking. They're stalking me while they know where I'm sleeping, okay? I am the center of the universe. The Ontario International Airport, stalking, group stalking with the Ontario Police Department, with the people of the state. This is P.O.C.
Alrighty, I did capture that video that you just listened to. That was captured at 9:05 p.m. And I want to document the entirety of the entity because it's not just the Ontario Police Department that's engaging in group stalking. The Ontario Police Department, which represents the state of California, stalking by a helicopter is state action. It's the state engaging in group stalking directly. Group stalking is the criminal system of surveillance where the entity is engaging in what is group stalking via the people of the state. And it is a demonic system. And I want to document, after capturing this video at 9:05 p.m., as I pointed out in that video, which is the entity's pattern of conduct, ongoing obsessive, ceaseless group stalking is underway. And this is 24-hour surveillance that an entity, a government, in concert with the people of the state, are engaging in. And I want to specifically include on my podcast the entity, including the Ontario Police Department, continuously flying over this vehicle at the same time that they are flashing directed light inside. That's the act of Satan itself. It's impossible light activity. That is moving about inside of the car, but the entity going out of its way to also accost me with this directed light. And so while I'm sitting on the passenger side, inside of the vehicle, the Ontario Police Department, demons that know that I'm documenting them, demons that know when I'm capturing footage of them, repeat the same act over and over again, and touching on my breast while I'm sitting on the passenger seat of the car, the same sexual violence while demons are driving by the car, touching on my person, touching specifically on my breast, on my face, touching all over me. But I want to be clear, they're engaging in sexually violent conduct in doing so. And this is a demonic effort to not only place under surveillance and monitor. Understand this directed light is directly relevant to the criminal monitoring with communication devices. It's also the demons' engagement in demonic activity. This is demonic at its core. But these demons are engaged in criminal monitoring with communication devices in violation of existing federal law. And the entity does so with the intent to terrorize and harass while they are fully cognizant of the fact that they're being documented. So I want to make sure that I include that. That video that I captured at 9:05 is followed by ongoing harassment of that demonic nature. And that is what is prosecuted as the impermissible threat by the Ontario Police Department, who you are witnessing the disbanding of that entirely corrupt and demon-possessed agency. All right, that's what's wrong with them. And they're engaged in criminal conduct, literally while they're flying around helicopters and stalking. That's already illegal conduct if you didn't know that. Police departments have no business engaging in that. And they're doing it for what is a greater purpose, what needs to be known around the world. That group stalking is a satanic targeting system that is fully underway in the United States. And I'm documenting it in the state of California. And that's what the Ontario Police Department continuously engaged in concert with the people of the state. The Ontario International Airport are part of that same harassment and terrorism and sexual violence. Again, cognizant of the fact that it's being documented by flying commercial airline planes over this street, this residential street, hovering over it. No planes are taking off over this housing community. The Ontario International Airport continuously engaging in ongoing group stalking using commercial airline planes in that specific environment. You're flying over, that is crossing path where you have multiple shadows. You are group stalking, and that's the Ontario International Airport engaging in that. And Union Pacific, which is the guise of what is audible activity in that specific environment as well. And so that company engaging in that ongoing sexual violence and harassment and terrorism in concert with the Ontario Police Department. So I want to include that as well. Alrighty, this is P.O.C. 5EWP290.